Good evening. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for SciFridays. As always, I'm your host, Captain, bringing you the best in sci-fi. Sci-fi. Screwing this one up right from the beginning. The best in sci-fi from years gone by. So, you guys, you're digging the way I've been setting up these episodes. You really seem to like them. Thank you. I'm always working on tweaking stuff, man. I think I'm finding it. So, even though if I find it, then the show will end, and then I'll have to relearn it again. I don't know. So, as always, SciFridays is brought to you by RU Game, the best comic book, collectible, video game, magic, role-playing, toys, collectibles and more store located at 124 North Sunset Drive, Pickle, Ohio 45356. Or you can find us on Facebook at RARE letter U GAME game. You find me, Paul, under Captain Cartoon. You find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all that dumb stuff because I don't know. I'm not a fan of Twitter or Instagram, but here we are. I'm old. Everybody tells me I need to do this, and I really should. So we're working on some cool stuff coming up. But here we go, guys. You guys love this show. I'm going to keep running it till we're out of episodes, and that is a Jason of Star Command. Man, dude, the cast they have, the people they bring on that show is crazy. And it's just a little Saturday morning show for a half hour. It's not even an hour-long show. They put their butts in, man. In fact, with Filmation was really into doing live-action stuff back in the 70s. I just wondered why they changed. I'm going to look that up. I need that book on Filmation. Maybe that's the next book I'll order on the history of Filmation, because that's interesting. It goes over there on the shelf with all the other cartoon and reference books I got sitting over there. But this is Jason the Star Command. This is Season 2, Episode 4. And this is Beyond the Stars. Enjoy.
Jason of Star Command.
Mighty Star Command, majestically moving through space. You may be the most powerful force in the universe now, but soon the greatest force and power the universe has ever known will be mine! The future shall soon be mine to command.
You want to see me, sir?
Yes. You ought to be congratulated, Matt. This star disk which you have stolen from me is quite valuable. You have done your job well.
Thank you, sir. One of these days, I'll be the best space pirate around.
Listen to him, my friends. Perhaps that is why he calls himself Matt Daring Star. No matter. In the meantime, I have another mission for you. It is both important and dangerous.
That's the way I like them.
This star disk contains the wisdom and power of the lost ancient civilization of the Tantalusians, the greatest civilization ever to exist. With its secrets, I shall conquer the universe.
When do we start?
That shall be determined by the success of your next mission.
My mission?
Yes. As you can clearly see, the star disk is damaged. My computers cannot read its symbols. However, there is one man who can decipher it in its present condition.
Who is he?
Professor E.J. Parsifal. You will bring him here to me. You may find him at Star Command.
Star Command? I've never tackled them before, but how do I get aboard?
I shall create a diversion which will keep them occupied while you are being placed on board. You will wear this. You shall look excellent in your role as Star Command cadet.
Okay, you two. I think we got you this time, right, Wiggy?
Right, Professor?
Okay. I think number 5.
Number 7.
Wiggy.
Play number 7.
Well, if you're certain. All right, here we go.
We win!
Number 7, number 7.
You played the wrong number 7.
What? Why, you little...
Combat stations, this is an emergency. Repeat, combat stations, this is an emergency. Pirate ships attacking Star Command.
Pirates!
Attacking Star Command? They must be out of their minds.
Starfire pilots, to your stations.
That's us, Sam. Let's go.
Range 12 miles and closing. I'll attack on the left, Sam. You take the right.
Affirmative, Jason. 7 miles and on target. They're running away. We can overtake them.
Negative, Sam. Let's just make sure they keep going right back where they came from.
But we can catch them.
Negative, Sam. Return to base.
Why did the pirates attack at all? Now that's what disturbs me. They weren't looking for a fight or they wouldn't have retreated so soon.
Then what were they looking for?
Oh, that's the question.
Well, there's something else. Security reports an outer hatch was open.
Hatch was open? This crew is too well trained to leave a hatch open during an attack. But it could have been forced open from the outside.
That's a possibility. But we still don't have a reason.
Well, when you open a hatch, you either want to get something out.
Or get something in.
Or both.
I'll tell you what. I'll inspect the upper levels. You check the lower hatches, and when you're finished, I'll meet you in the lab. Huh?
Fine.
Cadet,
Yes, sir.
what are you doing here? This level's closed to student personnel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't know. See, I'm looking for Professor Parsifal.
You one of his students?
Yes, sir. That's it. I'm one of his students.
Or why aren't you in his class? He's lecturing right now down at the Seeker dock.
Well, that's where I was going, sir, but I'm new and I got lost.
Well, docking area is 3 levels down. Oh, Cadet.
Sir?
Straighten up that jacket, huh? Commander sees you like that, you're gonna be in big trouble.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, students. All right. Today, class, we will be discussing the Seeker. I'll go into that at the next class. The remainder of this period will be spent in the study hall where you will see an excellent training program on what we've talked about. All right, class. Dismissed.
Professor Parsifal, may I ask you a question?
Of course, Cadet.
Matt Daringstar, sir.
Daringstar. Something you didn't understand.
Yeah, the computer system that pilots the Seeker, that's what I don't understand.
Well, Matt, that's a pretty tall question.
I'm sorry, sir. I guess I shouldn't take up your time.
No, Matt, that's okay. Let's go inside. The computers are easier to understand when you can see them. Each button is tied into a section of the computer. Colors and electronic soundings indicate what each one does.
Seems very complicated, sir. I think I could understand it quicker if we were really moving. I mean, out in space.
Oh, I don't usually take students out in the Seekers.
I know, sir, but I'm so far behind in this class. You see, I'm the only one who's never been in a Seeker. But if I went out with you as the pilot, I know I could understand everything really fast.
Well, I've been wanting to check the guidance system in these Seekers.
If I could watch you do that, it would really help.
I suppose now is as good a time as any to run the check. And I like to make sure my students understand everything thoroughly.
That's great. I really appreciate it, Professor.
Professor Parsifoot to launching crew.
Launching, officer.
Prepare Star Seeker number 5 for immediate takeoff.
Yes, sir. Destination, sir?
None. This is a checking run.
Roger, Professor. Launching hatch open.
I've never been in a Seeker before. This is terrific.
Look around if you like.
What's back there?
Storage room and engine weld.
Matt's signal means that he has succeeded in capturing Professor Parsifoot. And in his Star Command craft. Oh, how clever, my young pirate.
What is your command, Master Dragos?
The Star Command craft is approaching. Send the drones out to escort it here immediately.
Yes, Master.
Meet soon, Professor Parsifoot. And all your brilliance shall be mine to command.
You know, this is really great.
And this emergency button is tied in with Star Command's computers. When it's activated, they can locate our position within seconds. Well, man, I guess that's the end of our lesson.
You're right, Professor. The lesson's over. Now you're gonna learn one.
Draco's fighter drones, they're closing in. Stop that! What are you doing?
Sorry. Dragos wouldn't want you making any trouble. Anyhow, the controls won't help you. The ship will be under tractor beam control any minute.
Tractor beam control?
That's right, Professor. You see, you're my prisoner, and I'm delivering you to Dragos.
What is it? Your inspection turn up something?
Not with command security, that's all in order. But according to the launching officer, Parsifal took off on a seeker right after his lecture.
What was his destination?
He didn't say, sir. He said it was a checking run.
A checking run? Right after an attack? Doesn't he realize how dangerous that could be?
Yes, of course, sir. It's not like Parsifal to do something like that.
Emergency signal from Starseeker 5. Emergency signal from Starseeker 5.
That's Parsifal's seeker. He must be in trouble.
Put it on the speaker.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe a cadet would betray Star Command like this. I'm not a cadet. I'm a pirate. This uniform is just a disguise.
That cadet. I know his voice. I talked to him in the corridor. He was looking for Parsifal.
So, you tricked me. And now you're taking me to Draco's. That's right. He's got this star disk, Tanolutions or something I stole for him. He said you're the only one who can reach... Hey, let go of that button! You tried to make contact, didn't you? Well, it won't do you any good.
Emergency message interrupted, sir. Contact broken. Repeat, contact broken.
What about the seeker? Did you get a location on it?
Affirmative, sir. Seeker is 30 by 45 star degrees from the Tarko Beta system.
That's it. Tarka Beta. Only 30 minutes by Starfire.
I take it you want to attempt to rescue Professor Parsifal. And as you heard, this is no ordinary cadet we're dealing with. Dragos is behind all of this.
Commander, Parsifal needs our help. He's in serious danger.
I understand that. But Dragos could have a large fighter force out there. And you may need some help in case he does.
Believe me, if I need any help, you'll be the first one to hear about it.
Commander!
Move of your recklessness, Jason. But I understand your loyalty. Very well. Take a Starfire. But stay in close touch. Dragos may have an ambush planned.
Thank you, Commander.
Commander!
I know. You want permission to join him?
Yes, sir.
Denied. I can't risk two pilots.
He's right, Sam. Thanks anyway. It's the best offer I've had all day.
Take care, Jason.
Then I noticed he was pressing the emergency button, sir. That means Star Command probably knows he's in trouble.
No matter. Mistake may work to our advantage. Undoubtedly, Jason will try to rescue the professor. At which point I will have a most unpleasant surprise waiting for him. Dragos out.
Cool it, Wiki. We'll catch up with Parsifal. Starfire is much faster than a seeker.
What is your wish, Master?
Prepare to release the warp dragon.
Yes, Master.
Guys! A warp dragon! What's a warp dragon? An energy creature from another dimension!
Yes, Master.
Who released that warp dragon before I ordered it?
It was I, Master.
Fool! I said prepare to release. Prepare!
I am sorry, Master.
If the professor is harmed, you will be more than sorry.
Yes, Master.
There's Parsifal. He's in trouble.
Can we save him?
We'll soon find out.
That's Jason!
Hang on, little buddy. I'm gonna activate the stun guns.
He's trying to save us. He can't fight that warp dragon. It's too big.
The beams don't affect it. What do?
We try again. There's one chance. That thing feeds on energy. Maybe we can give it a bad case of indigestion.
How can we do that?
Blow our main fuel tanks, Wiki.
The dragon's gonna burn his ship. Why is he going back?
I told you, to save us.
He's risking his ship for us? He's crazy.
No, man. He cares about other people. Jason did it! He sent the dragon back to its own dimension!
Yeah, but he had to use all his fuel to do it. Now all he can do is drift.
We've got plenty of fuel. All we have to do is transfer.
No way. Dragos expects us, and he doesn't like to be kept waiting.
Why, you ungrateful! If it weren't for Jason...
I've got my orders.
Jason's completely helpless.
That's his worry. Besides, you can call your friends at Star Command for help.
Jason to Star Command. Jason to Star Command, do you read me? I repeat, do you read me? They're out of range, Wiki.
Oh
Looks like we're on our own.
no! Oh.
Here's some real value news from Ford. Now get 5.9% financing for up to 48 months on the award-winning Taurus. Combine this with a special option package and save up to $2,415. Great values on other Ford cars, too. See your Ford dealers soon.
Wow! What's new? New flame-broiled mini cheeseburgers. Only at Burger King. New burger bundles. Tasty little guys. But get them while you can, because they won't be around for long. New burger bundles. Are these good? Or what? Burger King, the best food for fast times.
I'm your fairy godmother. Tonight's the ball. Not tonight. An escort. Another night.
Bon Bon's brand ice cream nuggets. Simply irresistible.
Hey, hope you're still digging Jason of Star Command. Man, I don't know, man. I just love the kind of design of that ship. And the fact is, as people point out, yes, Wiki is talking this season. The little wind-up toy has a voice now. So they had to have their R2D2s. They had a little toy. So they basically took a toy and threw some stuff on it, wound it up, threw it on a set, and it went, that's a little robot. There you go. Craziness. So, we are currently staying in the Filmation universe. I am in the theory that Arc 2 and Jason Star Command are firmly in the same universe for me. They're worlds apart, same universe. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So, here you go. Here is your weekly supply of a chimpanzee with a jetpack. And this is Arc 2, Episode 11, Omega. Omega. If any of you guys are watching Bad Batch, you know it's Omega, Hunter, Teak, Echo, and Rekka. Me and my son it's one of my favorite shows, but me and my son still make fun of that. And I shouldn't. But it's still, when she says Omega. But, no, this is Arc 2, Episode 11, Omega. Enjoy.
Earth was fertile and rich. Then pollution and waste began to take their toll. Civilization fell into ruin. This is the world of the 25th century. Only a handful of scientists remain, men who have vowed to rebuild what has been destroyed. This is their achievement. Arc 2, a mobile storehouse of scientific knowledge manned by a highly trained crew of young people. Their mission, to bring the hope of a new future to mankind.
Arc 2 log, entry number 1. I, Jonah, Ruth, Samuel, and Adam are fully aware of the dangers we face as we venture into unknown, maybe even hostile areas. But we're determined to bring the promise of a new civilization to our people and our planet. Arc 2 log, entry 78. We're on our way through Sector 49, Area 16. We have heard of the existence of a village in this area where the young rule the old. Our mission is to investigate this unusual society.
Grandfather? Grandfather? Grandfather! Oh, Grandfather, I'm so happy to see you again.
Are you alone, Diana?
Well, yes, why wouldn't I be?
If I could only trust you, Diana. If I could only be sure that it's you talking and not Omega.
Oh, Grandfather, come home with me, please.
Not as long as Omega...
Let's get him!
Child, you didn't... My granddaughter, Diana, she's in danger. Help her.
Where is she?
She is on her way to our village. You must stop her. She's... Oh.
Now you three stay here with him till I get back.
Hey, Ruth, this is weird. Picking up strange sounds.
What do you mean strange?
Here it comes again. Alpha waves. And it's like they're trying to tune me in.
Sam, I'll be with you as soon as I finish this body scan.
Little girl! Is your name Diana?
Yes.
Mine's Jonah. Your grandfather asked me to find you. He said you were in some kind of danger. I'm sorry. He's been hurt.
Omega can help him.
Omega?
Omega's our leader. He can do anything. I'll take you to him.
Jonah to Arc 2. Come in, Arc 2. Samuel, do you read me?
See you bright and clear, Jonah. Go ahead.
I found Diana. How's her grandfather?
Still out. But Ruth says he'll be okay.
Good. Diana doesn't seem to be in any danger. I'm going to meet the leader of her village.
See you later, Jonah.
You hear anything?
No. Should I?
I guess not.
Samuel, listen to me and do as I say. Only you can hear me. It will take me more time to get to the others. For now, you will obey me. Come to me now.
Sam, where are you going? What's the matter with you? Sam, wait! Adam, go with him.
Don't any of the older people do any of the important jobs?
Of course not.
Why?
That is a logical question, Captain Jonah. It has a logical answer.
I can't believe it. You are Omega?
That is correct.
A machine.
A perfect machine, created to build a perfect society. A society in which the youth will rule.
But why?
It is only logical. The old ones cause the problems I am solving. For the good of all, they must be kept in their place.
Of course. So you're the big boss, right?
You object?
You're darn right I do. Young and old were responsible for what happened. They don't need a machine to think for them.
to accept me yet. In a short time, you will, like your crewmate, Samuel.
What about Samuel?
He is already willing to obey me.
I don't believe you.
I cannot lie. Younger minds are quicker to accept me. The older ones take more time. I have caused the interference. Turn your command over to me.
I think the time has come to turn you off.
Advance no further, Captain. Any attempt to deactivate me triggers my defense mechanism. Now, will you turn your command over to me? Do not delay too long.
Jonah, did you see Samuel?
No, what's wrong?
He took off, like he's in some kind of a daze. I tried to reach him, but he doesn't answer. Tried to reach you, too, but...
Let's try him again. Arc 2 calling Samuel. This is the Arc 2 calling Samuel. Come on, Samuel, let me hear you.
Why doesn't he answer?
I've got a good idea.
Welcome, Samuel. You will be a fine addition to our society.
Yes, Omega.
We go home, Samuel. Please, we go home.
So your people didn't build Omega?
No, that was built by a society that no longer exists. But 3 weeks ago, we decided to reactivate it because we thought it could help us.
3 weeks ago? And in 3 weeks it completely took over?
Yes.
Well, why weren't you affected by Omega?
I was the oldest in the village, and when I saw what was happening, I ran away. I got out of the range of its power.
So the younger you are, the faster you're affected.
Jonah, I got all the information. That computer was built in the 21st century.
It's known as the Checkmate, Model Omega.
Can it be deactivated?
Yes, but only by the right combination of moves across the chessboard around it.
Oh, well then we're home free.
Well, not exactly. Take a look at this.
Samuel, as soon as the others are in my power, you will take command of the Ark.
I will take command, Omega.
No, Samuel. Omega. Bad. Samuel, what is that creature?
A chimpanzee.
It cannot be a chimpanzee, Samuel. That would be illogical.
Why?
Chimpanzees do not speak. Therefore, the creature must be something else.
You are right. The creature is not a chimpanzee.
You mean those are all the moves I have to memorize before I can deactivate Omega?
That's the only way you're going to get through without being burned to a crisp.
Well, that could take me days. There's got to be a better way.
There isn't. You have to move from one square to another in sequence. And you've got to move fast. And you only have seconds for each move.
Fight it! With all your will! I do not like to say this, but my advice to you is leave your crewmate behind. You cannot resist Omega for long while you're in his range.
We're not leaving anybody behind. Who says I have to memorize that?
I'm approaching the village now, Ruth. Do you read me?
Loud and clear.
Are you sure Omega won't be able to interfere with our transmission?
Positive. The anti-scrambler is functioning perfectly.
Look, Samuel. Your friend Jonah is joining us.
Ruth, I'm at the laser field now. Give me my first move.
Here it comes. Start in the King's file. Repeat. King 1 is your first move.
Got it.
Advance to King's Bishop 2.
You have no chance. You cannot succeed.
Move right to King 2. Now to Queen 3. Queen's Bishop 3. Queen's Knight 3. Queen 2. King 3. King's Bishop 3. Jonah, are you all right? Jonah!
Hurry, Ruth. Next move.
Last. Move 2.
Come on, Ruth. Ruth, give me the next move.
King's 4.
Thank heaven.
There are 3 control switches at the top of the computer. You have to push them in order. Yellow. Green. And red.
I see them.
You will never be able to disarm my brain center. Obey me, Jonah. Cease. You have a remarkable will, Jonah. I see I must take drastic action. Samuel, stop Jonah at once.
Jonah, hurry. I'm going under. Jonah, hurry.
Stop him, Samuel. Excellent, Samuel.
Fight him, Sam. Don't give in to him. Help me, Sam. Or I've had it. Push my arm up.
Samuel, you are an insult to my logical thought processes.
Jonah.
pass through.
Can you make it to the final switch? Jonah, come in.
Now, Jonah, you are under my control. You will act logically and obey. What are you doing, hairy creature?
That switch, Alan. Push it. Understand? Push it. You wonderful little nine creature, you.
He did it!
You
did it! Come on, Marcus. We're heading for your village.
You think you can reprogram this thing to take orders instead of giving them?
You have already done so, Captain Jonah. My function is to obey and serve mankind.
Now that's what I call being logical.
Right.
Diana! Oh, Diana, child. Oh.
How could we ever have treated you the way we did?
Oh, never mind, child. Now, never mind. There's nothing you could have done.
How do you two feel?
A little wobbly. Wow, what a mind blower.
We'll be all right. Thanks to you, pal.
How could we ever have handed over our freedom to Omega so blindly? We can never express our gratitude. All of you have given us another chance.
Yes, second chance. Let's hope we learn from our mistakes this time. R2 log, entry 79. Omega will never again be able to impose dehumanizing ideas on mankind. Young and old are important in our society. Neither should have total control over the other. If we are to survive, we must learn to help each other and work together.
Oh! Somebody's taking my dog! Stop it!
Yeah, I would like you to meet the man in charge of the dog napping task force.
CHP Officer Frank Poncherella calling Kevin Cody.
Kevin, this is astronaut Gordon Cooper.
What's exactly wrong with him?
Kevin has less than a month to live.
Tuesday at 5 on San Diego's KUSI TV 51.
6 weeks? You promised we'd take care of an 8-year-old for 6 weeks?
Raymond ain't gonna be no trouble. He'd probably be napping most of the time anyway.
8-year-olds do not take naps.
They do if you slip some booze in their milk.
Aunt Louise, you're even more beautiful than your pictures.
Oh, not really.
I bet when she was younger, she was one foxy number.
What?
Tuesday at 7 on San Diego's KUSI TV 51.
It's so funny. I got this book the other day, and it is 100 things, just random ass objects from the Star Wars universe. It's got everything in there. It's got Bosch's helmet, boom. Let's see, the Mythosaur skull, boom. Let's see, here we Keeps going to Bosch's helmet for some dumb reason. All right. The A99 Aquatica breather from episode 1. It's just random things, and it gives the history of each of these random things. Rebel Manifesto, X-Wing fighter helmet from different eras. Hey, Beskar ingots. If I need to make my Mandalorian armor, I need some Beskar ingots. All right. Hope you guys are still digging Arc 2. And did you see he's in this episode? A young Helen Hunt. Before Twister, before Mad About You, before other movies that Helen Hunt's in that I couldn't tell you if my life depended on it. Maybe. What Women Want? With Mel Gibson? I don't know. I literally walked out of that movie and sat there and talked to the dude at the concession stand for like 40 minutes while my wife was watching that movie because it's so bad. So we're going to keep it going, and we're going to the last episode. After this, we're done. There is no more Captain Power. I mean, I guess I could show you guys the made-for-TV movie, but it's literally goes all the way back to the beginning, and basically the first few episodes, but they edited and made a movie, and then when they re-aired it, yeah, I can do that. If you guys would dig that, maybe I'll post it down there in the comments. Let me know in the live chat. Let me know. So this is it. This is done. This is Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, episode 22. And this is Retribution Part 2. The end of Captain Power. For now, hopefully. We'll get more soon. They keep teasing us. Well, let's see. But here you go. Captain Power.
Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future. Earth 2147. The legacy of the Metal Wars, when man fought machine and machines won. Biodreads, monstrous creations that hunt down human survivors and digitize them. Volcania, center of the Biodread Empire. Stronghold and fortress of Lord Dread, feared ruler of this new order. But from the fires of the Metal Wars arose a new breed of warrior, born and trained to bring down Lord Dread and his Biodread Empire. They were soldiers of the future, mankind's last hope. Their leader, Captain Jonathan Power, master of the incredible power suits which transform each soldier into a one-man attack force. Major Matthew Hawk Masterson, fighter in the sky. Lieutenant Michael Tank Ellis, ground assault unit. Sergeant Robert Scout Baker, espionage and communication. And Corporal Jennifer, pilot chase, tactical systems expert. Together they form the most powerful fighting force in Earth's history. Their creed, to protect all life. Their promise, to end Lord Dread's rule. Their name, Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future.
We're approaching the transit gate.
Nice to have one fairly close. By the time anybody else gets here, we'll be long gone.
Full magnification. Let me see them.
Teleportation. They do have the technology.
Anything on screen? Nothing. All sensors show we're clear.
Captain, 5 minutes, we drop like a rock.
Activate coding sequence. Prepare for transit.
Our finest hour is upon us. From this moment, all air, ground, and strategic forces are to operate under my direct supervision. For the first time, we have the chance to smash our opposition once and for all, and we shall take it. And so, I call you to battle. I summon you to greatness in the name of the machine, for the sake of the world that is to come, for glory and for honor!
Busy?
No. I was
Perhaps going over a few things. Some souvenirs of our battles. There have been a lot of them, haven't there?
Long way to go, too. But we're getting there. I remember when we found you. Got you away from the Dread Youth. You were so full of rage. We were worried whether you would make it or not. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you're here with us. Sometimes I think I don't tell you that enough. How much you're needed. How much you're appreciated.
I couldn't have done it without you. You and the rest. And my family. John? I've wanted to tell you something for such a long time.
Captain, Scout here. You said I should remind you when it was time to head out. Well, it's time.
We're on our way. You were saying?
Later. It can wait.
Database Journal 4712 Mark 24. Captain reporting. We've received word from our old Springer friend Locke. Says he's finally broken into the Dread IntelliWeb and gotten the data we need on truth, strength, and deployment. This could be a crucial breakthrough.
Jeez, man. Don't do that. How does a big guy like you move so quiet anyways?
Practice. What do you have for us?
Troop movements, numbers, distribution of weapons, supply schedules, the works. The D-base for the entire Dread military. And something else you should know. The name Cypher mean anything to you?
Head of Angel City Resistance. Why?
Dread's got him. They're taking him by convoy through Sector 9, Grid 3.
When are they moving him?
Like right now. He's got 1 hour before they get to the transfer point. After that, even an army couldn't get him out.
Captain, if that information about troop strengths is current, it could help us get Cypher out in one piece.
You sure this stuff is solid?
Does that answer your question? Come on!
Stay back.
Well, I guess you've got me, don't you?
Get me through next time. Then make good bookends.
Everybody all right? Let's get back to the ship. We only got an hour to get Cypher out. You be okay?
No problem, Livewire. I got tracks out of here no one can read. Get going.
Let's go.
You did well.
I stink.
Yes, well, let's not discuss your hygiene.
Leave him!
Does it make you feel better, hmm? Station 7 reporting, my lord. The pieces are in position.
Good. Alert Sector 9. Blaster. Stand by for opening of transit gate. When Power's ship appears, you know what to do.
Confirmed, my lord.
His base will be deserted. There will be no one to oppose us. When we have control, we will have all his secrets, his resources, his allies, all will be known to us. And he will have lost his primary weapon against us. With that gone, he will fall at last. The machine be with you.
Ready.
All right. You know what to do. When you get the data chirp in.
Right. We'll see you at the drop-off point. You wouldn't want me to miss all the fun, would you?
One more thing. When we get back to the base, I'd very much like to finish our conversation. I think we have a lot to talk about.
All right.
Power on!
All right, hit it.
Scanners report energy surge, Warlord. Power comes. It is time. Maximum burn.
Coming out of transit gates. Now. Captain, it's a trap!
Evasive action, full power!
It's going into the gate.
No!
40% power loss, going down.
Get us back in the gate!
I can't.
Pilot.
Hang on!
Emergency stations!
Going to manual. Can't get the flaps up.
Power down another 15%. Give us everything you got! Not fast enough. Hang on. This is gonna be rough. Damage control.
All damage within acceptable limits.
Electrical system's a mess. Repairable, but it'll take a while. We haven't got a while. Tank, go with him. Do what you can. Patch me into base. We got a warrant pilot.
I'm doing the best I can.
Readings indicate data chip contains no coded information.
I don't understand. Mentor, can you do a backup on the... What was that?
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! All personnel, this is a priority 1 alert.
Divide and search by quarters. Seek and destroy all inhabitants.
Analysis, Mentor, fast.
Estimate 16 troopers and 1 biodread. They're in the area of Hangar 7 and moving out.
Seal all the blast doors. Let's just stop him for a minute.
Receiving transmission from the captain. Stand by.
Amplify, Mentor, fast.
You read me. Pilot, come in.
I'm reading you, Captain. We've got big trouble. We're under attack. I repeat, we are under attack. There's at least 1 biodread and a whole squadron of troopers. They've penetrated the defenses, John. They're inside.
All right. You don't have much time. Set the destruct sequence. You're gonna have to blow the base. And get out of there fast.
Captain,
There's no time! We don't have any choice. If Dredd gets his hands on what's in that base, the resistance is finished.
You give me 3 minutes. I'm gonna do a backup on Mentor and grab the extra suits.
Negative!
That's standard evac procedure!
Hang procedure! Get out of there, pilot! Now! That's an order!
Lost the signal. Prepare to launch XT-7. Captain, launch systems are out.
Captain, troopers heading our way. Lots of them. Hawk, Scout, you get the ship flying. I don't care how you do it, but you get the ship in the air! Tank with me! Right.
Mentor, initiate backup procedures. I want your personality matrix and all recent data flows. Execute. Mentor, retina scan and voice identification. Jennifer Chase, codename Pilot. Access level Blue 5. Activate auto-destruct sequence. Authorization code 7995 Omega. Destruct.
Order to destruct acknowledged. You have 4 minutes to reach minimum safety distance.
53, 52.
Power on!
converge on Blastar's position. I want that base secured.
Victory is ours, Dredd.
With the power base in my hands, nothing can stop the birth of the new order.
Then it is time for the final commitment. Are you ready, my lord?
Yes.
All set in the back.
Think this is gonna work? We've done the best we can, John. I can't promise anything.
Just do it, Hawk, now.
Come on!
Yes! Stand by to activate transit gate.
Attention all personnel. Auto-destruct sequence aborted. Repeat, destruction cancelled.
Voice identification pilot. Engage auto control. Take off and rendezvous at sector 13, grid 3. Hover until contacted. Execute.
Pilot, do you read me? Come in. Jennifer, come in. Pilot, do you read me? Come in, Jennifer.
John?
Jennifer, hold on. Hold on, we're gonna come.
No. Stay clear. The auto-destruct is no good. I have to blow the power source. It's the only way.
We're on our way to get you right now. There's another way to do it.
It's too late. All broken up inside. Stay clear. I'm sorry we never got to finish our talk.
Jennifer, don't.
I love you, John. So much. Goodbye. You think of me sometimes. Goodbye.
Surrender! By order of Lord Dredd.
Go to hell!
Oh my God, Jennifer.
Picking up a signal from a skybite.
Lock on, go to it.
Power suits. Backup for mentor systems. She must have got it all up before.
How could it happen, Captain? How?
I told her to get out. Save herself. She never could listen to orders.
Metal monsters. They'll pay for this. All of them.
Better get this on the ship. Get out of here. Scout, take.
I'll be back soon. Just friends?
For a while.
What was the first thing you taught me when you freed me from the Dread Youth?
To preserve life. You were saying?
Later. It can wait.
Closing in on Dread.
Watch for base stations.
Visibility down. Going to scanning system.
Activated. Check energy levels. Check power levels.
We took a few hits, but we've still got plenty of power.
Energy systems full.
Hold on. I'm gonna blow this baby.
Everywhere, Tom Cruise in a video event you've been waiting for. Cocktail. Rent it on video cassette.
See it tonight at Major Video, El Paso's super video stores.
What is real?
Is she for real?
Is she for real?
Is that for real?
Well, what is real?
This is real.
Skittles.
New tart and tangy. New wildberry. New tropical. Real new. Real good. With real fruit juices.
Skittles. Bite-sized candy.
Taste the rainbow.
Catch the rhythm. Night Rhythms. The fragrance that dance is still gone. If a man you never met suddenly gives you flowers, that's the impulse of Night Rhythms. Night Rhythms from Impulse.
I hope you dug Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future. We ran all 22 episodes. And I still like the show. I think it's cool. We still have the discussion. Is it Sentai? You know, I'm like, I guess it's kind of Power Ranger-esque. I mean, they power up. They get their armor. Yeah, I can see it. I'm going to say if it isn't, it's adjacent. It is right there. I mean, I could touch it if I wanted to from Power Rangers. So, all right, here we go. So last week, I bought you the made-for-TV, the TV movie that brought us Kolchak. And that was Kolchak. It's the Night Stalker. And we are going to continue. And we're going to bring you the second TV movie for Kolchak. This is before it became a TV series. So this is the Night Strangler. You got the Night Stalker TV movie. Then you got the Night Strangler TV movie. And then you got Kolchak, the Night Stalker TV series. I own all that because I am a sucker for Kolchak. Like I said, if it wasn't for Kolchak, we wouldn't have a lot of stuff. We wouldn't have X-Files. We would not have Werewolf, the TV series. Because Scorsese, the bad werewolf, is named after the vampire from the Night Stalker TV movie. So if it wasn't for Kolchak, we would not have a lot of stuff. And that's including all the stuff that X-Files inspired. So if it wasn't for that, you just keep going. It's chain reaction there, people. So, just think about that. But this is the Night Strangler ABC TV movie. Enjoy.
This is the story behind the most incredible series of murders to ever occur in the city of Seattle, Washington. You never read about them in your local newspapers or heard about them on your local radio or television station. Why? Because the facts were watered down, torn apart, and reassembled. In a word, falsified. Saturday, April 1st, approximately 2:35 a.m. Marissa, one of the three belly dancers at Omar's Tent, a well-known bar in the Pioneer Square area. She was through for the night and on her way to St. James Street, where she could catch the 3 a.m. bus that would take her to her small apartment in the Shoreline Park area. Anxious to get home, she planned to take a shower and go right to bed. She never made it.
Someone there? Please, can't you take me? I only want to go to Shoreline Park. There's someone back here. Please, please.
A few nights later, in the bar room of the Seattle Press Club, one Tony Vincenzo by name, city editor by profession, bilious grouch by disposition, renewed acquaintance with a dear old comrade of the Fourth Estate.
Hi, Charlie. Mr. Vincenzo, how are you? Okay. Good. The usual, Mr. Vincenzo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you been living, in a cave? There's a world outside, a world of facts. Stumble on and take a peek at them. Get your brains out of hibernation.
Oh, no.
Come on, you can't expect me to believe this. This doesn't make any sense at all.
What's the difference if it makes sense or not? If it's true, you're supposed to be a newsman, aren't you? Not a critic.
Well, I am.
Take a look at this, then. Just take this one.
Take a look around that corner. See if there isn't someone there that looks like he just came from a road company performance on the front page.
And don't lecture me about the responsibility of the press, you cabbage head. I knew more about the press the day I was born than you do now. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, can you read English, or do I have to tell you what it says? See, right there. V-A-M-P-I-R-E. Vampire. That's what it says right there. Can you read the official coroner's report? Look at that. Blood drained from a victim's... There's nothing wrong with me. Vincenzo!
Hello, Carl.
What are you doing here in Seattle?
What did I do in Las Vegas?
Well, you fired me. That's what you did in Las Vegas.
No. I didn't fire you.
Well, in that case, then, you can hire me. Right, Vincenzo?
Get this straight, Mr. Kolchak. No carnival or hoopla tactics on this paper. This isn't Funtown, USA. This is Seattle. We have standards here. We mind our P's and Q's. We hew precisely to the mark.
Yes, sir, Mr. Crossbinder. You can count on me minding your P's and Q's. Yes, sir. So that's what happened to Cotton Mather, huh?
Don't underestimate him. Maybe old, but his fangs are potent.
So, what's my first assignment? What's the matter?
Okay. Murder 1, 3 days ago. Belly dancer named Marissa. She was strangled in an alley.
Tuesday, April 4th. First stop police headquarters to introduce myself and see if any later information had come in about the Ethel Parker killing. There was nothing new. No useful leads given by the victim's friends, acquaintances, or family. Standard medical examiner's report. So far, the murder was a one-way street to nowhere. I'd like to take...
make an appointment
Well, I
with
don't
my
make an appointment with the secretary.
You're going to have to make
Captain,
one.
I'd like to make a little question. Hey, Captain, wait a minute. What's the matter? I want to talk to the captain. Second stop, Omar's tent. No leads. Ethel Parker never mixed with customers, had no known enemies, kept her problems to herself. Unmarried, all her relatives in Massachusetts, she'd left the mainstream of life without making a ripple. Third stop, the apartment of Charisma Beauty. Given name, Gladys Weems, one of the 2 other belly dancers at Omar's tent. Charisma Beauty?
Who are you?
Who's there, Wilma?
Miss Beauty?
Yes, I am.
Excuse me? I beg your pardon? My name is Kolchak, and I'm with the Daily Chronicle. I'd like to ask you a few questions, you don't mind?
Would you like to talk?
No, thank you very much. What I'd like to ask you was, She was something less than helpful, and I soon departed. Made a bit uneasy by the looks directed at me by her husband, Wilma Krankheimer. Fourth stop, the floating premises of Louise Harper, last of the belly dancing trio at the supper club. Scheherazade? Louise Harper.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry I can't talk to you now. I'm late for class. Listen, if you want to sell me something, come back later. I must tell you, though, I really don't have any money for extras, so you'd just be wasting your time.
Yeah, but
Listen, I'd like to talk to you. I am so late for class. Professor Graham will kill me. My grades are not too good as it is. How I'm ever going to graduate, I will never know. There simply is not enough time to do all the things that I've got to do.
May I introduce myself? My name is Kolchak of the Daily Chronicle. When could I ask you some questions about Ethel Parker?
You'll have to come by the club. That's just about the only time I have to talk to you. I am so late, I know he's going to flunk me.
Thanks for the information.
Whee! Don't mention it!
You know there's been a murder, don't you?
I also know that Seattle is the Northwest's largest seaport. Men come and go like the tide, and the murderer is probably in Yokohama by now. Bye!
She was wrong. he was still in Seattle working up his list of victims. Cocktail waitress Gail Manning, disposed of sometime after 2 a.m. on the morning of Thursday, April 6th, a block and a half from the first murder.
Captain, what do you intend to do about this?
Who are you anyway?
My name is Kolchak, sir, with the Daily Chronicle. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions on this.
My back.
Just when you get in your car, wait a minute. Listen, Captain, I got a lot of problems I got to take care of.
Strangulation, neat and quick. No new elements was all they told us, until the medical examiner's report the next afternoon. In attendance, Captain Roscoe Schubert of the Seattle Police and his staff, holding forth Dr. Christopher Webb of the County Medical Examiner's Office.
Checking underneath the victim's hairline, we located what appears to be a needle puncture near the base of the skull, from which a small amount of blood was removed.
Was there any puncture or loss of blood in Ethel Parker?
We haven't had a chance to check on the puncture yet, but there was apparently a slight decrease in normal blood content.
How slight?
Well, that's hard to say. Maybe 6 or 7 cc's.
Why wasn't it reported?
The amount of loss seemed insignificant at the time.
But not now.
You have a point.
Just a minute, Doctor. Who is this clown? I've never seen him before. What?
Kolchak, Daily Chronicle. Don't you remember, Captain?
Oh, yeah. How can I forget? All right, now, Mr. Kolchak, may we continue?
Certainly.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Doctor.
As long as we get all the facts this time.
Dissatisfied by what I'd heard at the medical examiner's report, I paid a little visit to the morgue and found myself a chatty attendant with a taste for scotch. What he told me made chopped liver of the needle puncture and loss of blood, and explained why they hadn't let me look too closely at Gail Manning the night before. Well, no, thank you. No, thank you very much. You go right on ahead, though.
Now, look, right off the top, you know we can't link these two killings unless we know whether Ethel Parker has a needle puncture, too.
She has. And that's not all.
You know something the medical examiner doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
What?
First, you owe me $10 for a bottle of scotch.
What?
Yep. Bought for one anecdotal morgue attendant.
Okay, keep talking.
Hurry up. Yeah, Ethel Parker not only had a needle puncture in the back of her skull and loss of blood, she also had a broken neck.
Well, that's not so unusual in the case of a strangling.
Gail Manning also had a broken neck.
So what?
Maybe I ought to give it to you as a morgue attendant told me. He said that the killer had to be an incredibly strong man. Not only were the necks broken, they were crushed. Boy, read on.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
That's what the man said. On the throats of both victims, there was a residue of rotted flesh, as if they had been strangled by a dead man. Friday, April 7th, 10:21 p.m. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, but Louise Harper's hips could move as fast as her mouth.
Princess of the East. And now, the world-famous Charisma Beauty.
Knock 'em dead, Charisma.
Why should I do that? I like them.
I just can't understand this. Whoever wrote this is just dumb. Never to graduate with this course.
Princess of the East?
No. Dimwit of the West. Listen, I just can't talk to you right now. I've got to know algebra.
Well, I'm great at figures.
Bet you are. Go away. You know, if I could find a way not to eat, I sure could save a lot of time.
Yeah, well, let's pick up talking where we left off. I mean, about the guys, thank you, Charlie. Yeah, about the guys who come to see you dance, the regulars, you know. You find any strange ones in there, any odd ones, any weirdos?
They're all weird. I mean, they sit there and stare at you with these big glassy eyes. Any of them could be the Strangler for all I know.
What was that?
Oh, that's the Underground Tour.
What?
The Underground Tour. It goes down underneath Seattle.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yes, there's ruins underneath the streets here. What they call Old Seattle. Isn't that right, Wilma?
Oh, I don't know. Here.
Oh, thank you. I just love these sandwiches. I was talking about the underground, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were, honey.
There was this big fire back in 18-something or other, and for some strange reason I don't know about, they built it all back up, twice as big as it was before. Isn't that right, Wilma?
Come on, Gladys. It's almost showtime.
Although research was never one of my favorite pastimes, I'd called in the services of one Titus Berry, guardian of the secrets of Seattle, buried in the morgue of the Daily Chronicle.
Here we go.
Thanks.
Most welcome. I envy you.
You do?
Research. That's where the joy lies.
Joy.
And the fascination. Let the others scurry about gathering their contemporary bits of gossip. This is where the meat is found.
Meat?
Yes. For instance, no one has yet mentioned the distinct resemblance between this current series of strangulations and another series in the year 1951. Or was it 52?
Yeah, how similar?
Oh, extremely similar.
Really? He wasn't exaggerating. On March 27th, 1952, one Myra Johns was discovered strangled in an alley in the Pioneer Square area. On March 30th, a second strangulation took place in the same area. On April 2nd, a third. April 5th, a fourth. By April 14th, 6 women had been strangled, all of them in that area. The stories intimated that certain, quote, bizarre details, unquote, had been repressed by police officials. I wondered what they were.
I hardly think we can say we have the same killer now as in 1952.
Read on.
Again?
Again.
Incredibly strong and had the rotted features of a corpse?
Those are exact quotes, word for word, from Man of Simon Action in 1952.
Well, you know I can't print this.
Why not?
If you don't know the answer to that, Kolchak, I don't know. I came to Seattle for some peace and quiet. What do I get? You again and another crazy story.
Yeah, well, we'll soon see if it's crazy or not.
How, asked the red-eyed editor, knowing
Because if it is the same killer, he hasn't stopped killing. Sunday, April 9th, 1:42 a.m. Joyce Gabriel, on her way home from a late date, didn't know it was a bad idea to be in the Pioneer Square area late at night. Another one.
Just settle down, Miss Gabriel.
I don't know why he didn't chase me after he killed her. I just, you know, I ran as fast as I could until I saw you.
Now listen, I'm telling you for the last time, I'm getting sick and tired of you butting into my business. Now, will you please let me ask the questions, Mr. Kolchak?
Certainly, Captain.
All right.
Certainly. What did he look like?
Are you deaf? Well, look, get rid of that tape recorder, too. Now, what did he look like?
Oh, God, I hope I never see a face like that again. He looked like a dead man.
Like a what?
Like a dead man.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I don't want to hear it.
What about the broken necks and the rotted flesh in the throats of the three
I
victims?
told you I didn't want to hear it. Besides, it's not official.
Not official? Who cares whether it's official or not?
Look,
you know it and I know it.
I'll buy the possibility that it's some guy, a killer that strangled the 6 women in 1952. But a man, Carl, not some kind of super dead man.
That's the way he has been described more than once.
I don't care if he's been described that way more than twice. Let me finish my life.
Where are you going?
There. Oh! An open invitation to the killer. Listen to this. I intend to walk the streets of the Pioneer Square area every night from now on. Just let him try to kill me if he dares.
He may be sick, but he's not crazy.
I'm giving you this, Mr. Kolchak, because you had the thoughtfulness to put my name in your story on the 1952 strangulations.
What is it?
A burning curiosity impelled me to look further back into our files to see if there'd been any other strangulations of that nature.
1931? You gotta be kidding. Here it was again, March 29th through April 16th. 6 strangulations, certain bizarre information repressed by the authorities. Although a reporter named Jimmy Stacks, God bless him, nosed around until he uncovered the unofficial information that some of the victims were missing some blood, and that the killer was supposed to be some kind of Superman. Women. You notice that? Always women.
Fascinating?
Yeah, that's the word, Mr. B. Let's see, 1970, 1952, that's 21 years. 1952 to 1931, that's 21 years.
That's right. I hadn't noticed that. That's very observant of you, Mr. Kolchak. Can you be thinking when I'm thinking?
Let's have a look. Mr. Barry.
Mr. Kolchak.
Shall we try for 1889?
I refuse to read it.
Just read the first line. Go on. Just the first line. Come on, do yourself a treat. Come on.
5 identical sets of murders every 21 years since 1889? Identical?
Identical.
Oh, come on, Kolchak.
Almost identical. There may be more than 5, too. The records stop in 1887 when the Chronicle was founded. I'm going down to Olympia tomorrow and check out the
don't
state
rush, don't
archives.
rush into that.
Wait. Read the 1910 eyewitness description. I'll read it to you here. Oh, it's great. The maniac had the strength of 10 men and the face of a corpse. Cheekbones protruding through the flesh. Isn't that great?
Hold it. Just hold it. You really and truly expect me to print that story with a corpse that's been running around, strangling people and crushing their necks for the past 84 years?
Because the police refused to release the sketch their own artist had made, I talked Vincenzo into hiring an artist of our own.
His jaw was heavier, I think. That's closer, but more bone was showing through.
Like this?
Yes,
Is that what he looked like?
that's what I saw.
Monday, April 10th, 2:07 p.m. 4th of July came to Seattle early that year. All the fireworks exploding at the police headquarters. 90% of them directed at me and Vincenzo.
You know what I call that? Irresponsible yellow journalism. Fast buck journalism. The kind of seamy journalism one might expect to find in some second-rate metropolis. The sordid brand of journalism, which is based not on the public weal, no, but on the private cash register.
Psychologists call it déjà vu, the distinct impression of having had the same experience before. That's what it was, all right, in spades. Item: we had no right to throw the public into a panic. Translation: tourist season was coming up and Seattle couldn't survive without it. Item: we had no evidence to support our statement that there might be a connection between the 5 sets of murders since 1889. Translation: we knew more than we were supposed to. Item: the authorities were going to keep a watchful eye on us, particularly me, from now on. Translation: after a brief hiatus, I had, once more, taken up permanent residence inside a pressure cooker.
Permit me to read you a brief memorandum. Quote, any repetition of this morning's front page assault on the mind and senses will result in the instant dismissal of all responsible persons. Unquote. Signed,
God.
You're almost right. How can I let this happen to me again? How could I do it? I don't understand.
Will you wait a minute? Will you just wait a minute? We wasted a lot of time. We wasted an awful lot of time fighting tooth and nail in Las Vegas about the obvious. There is no such thing as a vampire. That's what everyone kept saying, and the women kept dying. Now, let's not play that stupid game again.
Besides, it's a great story.
It's a fabricated story full of screwball speculation.
Fabricated speculation? What have you been sitting on your brain?
Just give me the facts, Kolchak, or stay away from me. Just the facts.
Step number 1 in my fact-finding project took me to the main library, where I spent the rest of the evening checking through their microfilm collection of Seattle's newspapers. The murder trail apparently came to an end in 1889. But I found out something very interesting. As near as I could make it out, every set of murders had taken place over a period of 18 days, which meant that our killer, whoever or whatever he was, only had a week and a day to find his last 3 victims. That night, about 11:45, he reduced the number to 2.
Hold it, mister. Identification, please.
Yeah, identification, sure, right here.
Hey, you! Hold it!
See anyone?
Better get the ambulance for those other guys.
I'll take the camera.
Hey, give me my camera there! What that?
All right, all you people, I want this area thoroughly searched. Let's go, knock on it.
Give me my camera.
I want you out of this area promptly.
Yeah, that's...
Beat it, Kolchak.
That's
I had
private.
you locked up for loitering.
Private property. You can't take that. That's against the... Give me that. Come on, give me my...
just Molly and me, and baby makes three. We're happy in my blue heaven.
Mr. Joe Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. Put a big hand on, huh? All right. The man responsible for the underground tour of Seattle's forgotten city beneath the modern streets of Seattle. That mouthful was devised by the man I'm about to introduce. Author, journalist, Mr. Bill Spidell.
Thank you, young man. Welcome to Seattle's underground tours, folks. Before I go on, I want to tell you about Mother Damnable.
After completely striking out on my efforts to get Schubert to return my film of last night's wipeout of the Seattle police, I decided to try another angle.
Make room for the underground.
I telephoned my belly dancing undergraduate friend and asked her to attend an afternoon tour of the underground with me. Confession of a Newsman, Chapter 1. Her being with me had nothing to do with the story.
Those kids from Seattle High School spent 5 successive Saturdays back in the spring of 1965 cleaning up no less than 10 tons of debris down here so that people like yourselves wouldn't break your necks while walking around. All right, watch your step through here. You gentlemen can help the ladies, huh? Twice a day when the tides came in, the sewer system backed up and came right in with it, flooding every water closet, turning it into a fountain. I'll tell you, kids in those days weren't raised on Dr. Spock. They were raised on the tide table. Now, you watch your step. Let's go this way.
It was like another world down there, a world of yesterday. Sidewalks and storefronts just as they'd been left after the fire in 1889. Windows built to admit the light, admitting only darkness now. Ground floors of office buildings now, the unused cellars of those buildings. The tomb of old Seattle just beneath the living streets of what Seattle is today. Grenadier.
Too old for this. Ham. Gotta see a doctor. Arthritis. Bad stomach. Why'd you have to come to this place? Back. Never would have had to put my shoes on if I hadn't heard you come. My corns are killing me. Got a Charlie horse. Varicose veins. I'm getting a migraine.
Are you all right?
Yeah, of course I'm all right.
Listen, have you seen anybody else around here who wasn't with the tours?
Yeah.
Yeah? Who?
You too.
Funny. Very funny. Well, if you do see someone or something around here, you get in touch with me at this number, and I'll give you $20. Here's a down payment.
I could live 3 months on that $5.
No, thank you.
On me.
Sure was a lovely afternoon.
I still don't think it's a good idea for you to be working nights. You know, I've seen this nut in action.
Oh, terrific. You're going to pick up my tuition?
It's very funny. Very funny. I just don't get it. What does he go between killings? I mean, we didn't find anything down in the underground.
No.
I don't understand it. How can he run like a track star, have superhuman strength, and look like a stiff? Now, what does he do with all that blood? I mean, it's like some kind of recurring nightmare. It's all happened to me before.
What are you talking about?
Well, last year in Las Vegas, when I was working for Tony Vincenzo, I uncovered a series of murders that turned out to have been committed by a vampire. No, a real vampire. A real out-of-the-coffin-at-night, go-for-the-jugular type vampire. You don't believe me? No, well, neither did the cops up there, neither did the FBI, neither did Tony Vincenzo, until finally they had to. Well, as it turned out, however, they put a cap on my story, prevented me from writing about which I had seen with my own eyes by hanging a murder rap over my head.
Murder?
Yeah. Yeah, I finally drove a wooden stake into the vampire's heart. Well, what do you think?
What do I think? I think those people will remember this elevator ride for the rest of their lives.
Dude, let's go. I don't know. I'm beginning to wonder whether maybe it isn't them. Maybe it's me.
Listen, I think I know somebody you should see. There's this lady who's a teacher at the university. Well, she teaches anthropology. And she's a buff on just, every crazy subject there is in the world.
Yeah?
Ghosts, demons, vampires, and ghouls. You know, you just name it. You probably won't be too crazy about her, but she's got to be the one you talk to.
Yeah? What's her name?
Professor Crabwell.
What? How can a man over 100 years old retain his vitality? Is it possible?
If it were possible, I'd be sitting here an 80-year-old sex pot. However, staying young was not their purpose. Alchemy was conceived as an exalted notion, man at one with the universe. And will you please sit down?
Yes, of course.
These men led Spartan lives, living in the most humble of quarters, eating the most humble of foods. The Count St. Germain, for instance, existed on a diet which consisted solely of oatmeal, groats, white meat of chicken, and a little wine.
It just seems to me that a diet like that would make a man old before his time.
On the contrary, he remained young for a number of years, in addition to which he was said to have possessed almost superhuman strength.
Tell me, what other ingredients are in this elixir of life?
Milk or meat, celandine or honey, red wine vinegar, hair, sweat, blood.
What kind of blood?
What do you mean, what kind of blood? Human blood, of course. What are you smiling at?
Hi there. Got a moment?
What are you doing here?
Just wanted to talk with you a minute.
What about?
The elixir of life.
Go to journalism school, my father said. It's a good, sound, down-to-earth profession.
Don't you want to hear this?
What I like to do is raise tulips for a living, but there's not too much of a demand.
Suppose an elixir of life could actually be produced. How do you think it'd work? I mean, do you think that that one treatment of it would cause everlasting youth? Or do you think that well, periodic treatments might be required, say...
Wait a minute. Don't tell me. Let me guess. Every 21 years?
Good guess. Now, suppose at the end of this 21-year period, the man who took the magic elixir began looking a little moldy, you know, kind of like what he really did look like, actually, a 100-year-old man. Suppose he had to make a new batch of the elixir and had to make it within a period of 18 days. Suppose that the one ingredient he didn't have was blood.
Very good. Suppose he had to go out late every night to get that blood. And suppose he got it from the bases of his victims' skulls with a hypodermic needle. And suppose he was so strong that when he strangled his victims, he crushed their necks. And suppose his fingertips were starting to decompose and left fragments of them on the women's throats. And suppose you flap your arms and fly right out that door. And suppose you check on the dictionary and you discover what the word fact means, Kolchak. Fact! Fact!
As I rode home from work that night, I wondered where the killer was and if my theory about him was true. Partly true, or, as Vincenzo would have it, factless, hopeless, and useless. I wondered when and how he'd get his fifth victim, since the entire area was being guarded so closely now. I didn't have to wonder long. Thursday, April 13th, 1:25 a.m. The dressing room in Omar's tent. Charisma Beauty was plain old Gladys Weems again. Dead, strangled with a broken neck, blood syringed from the base of her skull. Wilma Krankheimer was still in shock. So was Louise Harper. She'd found the body after her performance. And I wasn't doing so well myself.
Captain, I'm going to talk to you about something. Hey, wait a minute, come on! This is very important, Captain!
I'm sorry, Captain Schubert is very busy. And you can't
I
go in
gotta
there.
see him.
I said you cannot go in there.
Sweetheart.
What's going on here?
I told him you were busy, sir.
I've been trying to see you since 1:30 this morning, and I'm not going to leave until I do.
It's all right, Sheila.
I'm sorry, sir.
It's all right, Sheila.
You got to put police women on the waterfront streets at night.
Do I, Mr.
Yeah,
Kolchak?
you do. You got 5 days in which to catch the killer. Otherwise, he's going to disappear.
Oh, is he, Mr. Kolchak?
Yeah, he is. Every 21 years since 1889, he has killed 6 women in 18 days precisely.
Precisely, Mr. Kolchak?
Precisely.
Well, no doubt we lack your eagle-eyed perception, but somehow we fail to see the exact, precise pattern you keep babbling about. Now, in 1889, there was no evidence that the murders were committed over an 18-day period, or for that matter, that they were even related.
You check?
Yes, we do a little research, too, sometimes. Now, to continue. In 1910, there was blood loss reported in only 3 of the victims.
Yeah, what about the description
The
of the...
description of the murder was made by a mental defective in his cups and...
What about the 1952 descriptions? Were those made by a mental defective in his cups? He was a bank president!
In 1952, there were 8 murders committed during an 18-day period. And what does that do to your theory?
2 of them by stabbing, which invalidates...
And after the 6th strangulation, an eyewitness described the murderer as being, quote, rather handsome, unquote. Oh, you mean you missed that?
Well, well, the witness obviously made a mistake. I mean, he had to.
Did he, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me something, then. If it's the same killer, why no signs of rotted flesh on the throat of last night's victim? And one last question. Why am I wasting my time on you? Facts obviously mean nothing to you at all.
There is one last fact, Captain. By next Tuesday, that killer's going to disappear for 21 years. And the way your police have got the Pioneer Square area bottled up, he isn't even going to show his face.
Which face is that, huh? The rotted one of your so-called super killer your newspaper saw fit to print?
So-called? I saw that so-called super killer wipe up the streets with your so-called police force. I had pictures to prove it that you wouldn't let me print.
Tell me something, Kolchak. How long have you been in Seattle?
What difference does that make? What does that got to do?
How long have you been with the Chronicle?
Oh, a little less than 2 weeks.
A little less than 2 weeks, huh? Well, and in that brief time, you have ascertained exactly how we should conduct this case.
Well, I've been a reporter for 22 years.
And I've been a police officer for 30.
Well, then why don't you retire?
Listen, I don't like you, Mr. Kolchak. You might say I dislike you monumentally. Now, you have barged around this building as though it were your own private club. You've interfered with police officers while they were trying to perform their duty. You've strewn the streets of Seattle with your journalistic garbage. You've stepped on toes, muscled in, pushed, usurped, and generally conducted yourself with all the aplomb of a one-man Gestapo.
Gestapo?
Yes, Gestapo. Now, listen. If I see or hear from you again for quite some time, I promise you I'll personally have you thrown in jail and get your arm off my clock.
I'm telling you, you've only got 5 days left.
And I'm telling you to get out and stay out. Cease, mister. Cease, desist, and vanish, or else.
At least search the underground. The killer's down there.
That's where he isn't. The underground was searched. Nothing at all was found. Sheila! Yes, we did that without consulting you. I hope that's all right, Mr. Kolchak. Sheila, show Mr. Kolchak the door. Good day, sir.
Kolchak!
Oh, get him yet.
Coming, Mother.
I warned you about bugging the police department, didn't I?
Yeah,
didn't I?
So what?
So Schubert's office just called Crossbinder. Crossbinder called me. And once again, thanks to you, I'm frying on a griddle.
Why?
Why? Are you for real? You barge into Schubert's office and tell him how to run his case. You tell him he's suppressing the news, and you ask why?
He is suppressing the news. He does know how to run the case. The killer is down there, Tony. He is down there
Well, why did
in
they
the
get him out of
underground.
there?
Because he is hidden away someplace that nobody knows.
And how the heck can they get at him then?
By breaking open the walls. I don't know. Listen, Crossbinder's got some influence in town, hasn't he?
What about it?
You have got to talk him in to pressuring the police, forcing them to do what I want them to do.
You know what you just said?
Well, of course I know what I just said. I just said it, didn't I?
No, you don't know. It's finally happened, Kolchak. You've gone schizoid.
No.
You'll be wearing robes in the crowd next.
No. I'll tell you what's finally happened, Tony. You have lost your guts. You have sold out.
Sold out?
Sold out.
Why, you miserable, egocentric... You are off the story.
I am what?
You heard me. You are off the story.
You know something, Tony? You're getting old. You're getting very old.
Out. Out!
Out! Get out!
Just one small item, Mr. Kolchak.
Mark Twain.
5th paragraph down.
5th paragraph down to 3. Oh, yeah. Mr. Twain noted with typical dryness of tone that he had a most intriguing conversation with a local physician who claimed that physical immortality... Oh, this is very good, Mr. Barry, very good. And physical mortality was not only possible, but probable, indeed practical. Mr. Twain remarked... Yes, the physician's name is Dr. Richard Malcolm. You wouldn't have anything on this Richard Malcolm, would you?
Just one small item. Dr. Richard Malcolm was a member of the original staff of the West Side Mercy Hospital when it opened in 1882. There's the original story and photograph.
The Civil War?
He was a surgeon in the Union Army.
Is this hospital still standing?
Oh, I don't believe so, Mr. Kolchak. I think there's a clinic there now.
I took a fast trip to the clinic, hoping they might have the record files from Westside Mercy Hospital stashed away in their cellar somewhere. I asked Mr. Barry to keep checking his own records while I was gone and find out what else he could about Dr. Richard Malcolm. I never had to search the cellar for those records. I found my answer just inside the lobby door.
Sir, if you don't get down from there this instant, I'll call the police. Did you hear me, sir? All right, then. All right, then. Call the police. Tell them we have a vandal here. Tell them to get here right away. Now, you get down from there this instant, sir.
Malcolm Richards, M.D., the doctor's saint of the waterfront, founder of the Richards Free Clinic. Also known as Richard Malcolm, M.D., late of the Union Army. Our killer from time.
This is dreadful, Mr. Kolchak.
On the contrary, Mr. Barry.
There he is, officer.
Tony.
It is to be regretted, Mr. Kolchak, that leg irons and mouth blocks were outlawed some years back.
Now, will you wait a minute, please? Will you take these things off?
I warned you, Kolchak.
Congratulations, Kolchak. You have plumbed a new depth. The desecration of a saint.
For heaven's sake, I did not invent the resemblance between Dr. Malcolm Richards and Dr. Richard Malcolm. I did not invent the fact that Westside Mercy Hospital, which Dr. Richard Malcolm was a staff member, is on the same spot as the Malcolm Richards Clinic.
Why not an expose on Dr. Schweitzer, Mr. Kolchak? Or the lowdown on Mahatma Gandhi? As for this eternal youth garbage, I hate it.
Yeah, well, I can see why.
What did you say?
Now, hold on. We're not here for any personal vituperation.
You know that word?
What?
Vituperation.
That's what I said. I pronounce it right. Now, listen, Kolchak. You've been arrested. You're about 1/100th of an inch of being thrown in jail.
Well, there he is.
Now, who's this?
Mr. Barry, come in, come in, come in. Yes, I've been waiting for you. Come on. Yes.
Do you, did you get it?
Yes, I thought perhaps...
You thought right, Mr. Barry.
Who is this man?
Don't you know him? He works for you.
Down in research, sir, for 35 years.
Good God. Yeah, and research, of course, being the meat of it. Yes, here we are. Mr. Richard Malcolm lived in New York City until 1868 when he moved to Seattle. Oh, very good, Mr. Barry, very good. Several months before he left New York City, that is, 6 women were strangled over a period of 18 days, precisely. Their larynxes were crushed and their necks were broken. 2 of them had small wounds on the base of their skull. 1868, I might add, is exactly 21 years before the first group of Seattle killings, Mr. Vincenzo. Item, following the fire of 1889, in which the wife, stepson, and daughter died of smoke inhalation, Dr. Richard Malcolm disappeared. 1889, as we know, just happens to be the year in which the first group of 6 killings occurred, Mr. Vincenzo. Yes, in 1910, Dr. Malcolm Richards appeared in the by now defunct Westside Mercy Hospital, of which, as noted, Dr. Richard Malcolm was formerly a member of the staff, and built his clinic over the original site. 1910, by coincidence, just happens to be the year in which the second group of 6 killings occurred, Mr. Vincenzo.
Kolchak.
Again, more broken necks and more missing blood.
Now, listen, Kolchak.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
In 1931, following reports that he had developed some kind of a, quote, strange degenerative skin disease, unquote, Dr. Malcolm Richards disappeared. Well, 1931, just by coincidence, happens to be the year in which the third group of similar killings occurred, Mr. Vincenzo. Oh, photos. Do you have any photographs?
Yeah.
Did you get some? You'll excuse the clumsiness of the hands, but my wrists are slightly encumbered by your bracelets. Now, this this photograph of Dr. Richard Malcolm and the slightly doctored photograph of Dr. Malcolm Richards are identical down to the white scar above the right eyebrow. Huh? Now, this photograph was taken during the Civil War when Dr. Richard Malcolm was a surgeon with the Union Army. The photograph of Dr. Malcolm Richards was taken in 1926. It showed a man in his 40s. Now, how can a man almost 90 look like a man in his 40s? Facts, gentlemen. Facts.
Well?
Yes. Well?
You shut up.
Well.
Fascinating. All right, what are we supposed to do now? Congratulate you?
Find him, mister. Go down underground and search for him. You haven't searched enough. And put some policewomen in the area. Lure him out of his lair. And, Mr. Publisher, you might consider printing the stories. They are news, sir. Not hearsay. They are news.
That will be enough, Mr. Kolchak. Perhaps, Mr. Kolchak, it would be a good idea if you stepped outside for a moment.
Delighted, sir, delighted. If I could get my jewelry removed.
All right. Judd, get him out of here. Take the handcuffs off him.
Thank you. I just await your decision, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Well, me, Mr. Grossbinder. It'll be done. You can depend on it. Come on, Judd.
Okay, Carl. I don't know how I did it, but I got you off the hook.
You did? You're a genius, Tony. You're a genius. Now, what about the story?
There is no story.
What?
That's it, Carl. There is no story. From now on, they're going to handle the whole thing their own way.
You're going to I'll kill him! Kolchak! Didn't they hear me? Didn't they hear what I said? Don't they know what's going to happen? I mean, if they don't lure him out, if they don't get Malcolm out of there, he's going to get his 6 kills somewhere else, and he's going to disappear for 21 years. Didn't they hear me? Don't they know it's going to happen?
They intend to panic an entire city just for your sake, Kolchak. Period. Now, your next assignment. Your next assignment, courtesy of Mr. Llewellyn Crossbinder. Your next assignment, bright and early tomorrow morning, you're covering the Daffodil Festival in Puyallup. And you're lucky to get that.
It was with deep regret that I chose to forego the joys of daffodils in Puyallup, but I had other plans. Saturday, April 15th, 2 a.m. We started out. One belly dancing undergraduate and one reporter who, despite his air of spit-in-their-eye confidence, hoped to heavens he wasn't hastening said undergraduate to her doom. It didn't help my conscience any that Louise Harper had agreed immediately to help me, angered as she was by the death of both her co-performers.
Please stop looking around like you're suspicious of something. Just walk natural. Go on, I'll be right behind you. I'll be right behind you. Just act casual.
The first 3 nights passed without any particular incident. Most of the time was spent trying to duck the police. On the 4th night, things began to happen.
not look back.
All right.
Get her in the car, fast.
Okay, Kolchak, the party's over. Get in the car.
Don, what are you doing down here? Why don't you leave me alone
You're
on my
under
way?
arrest. Get in the car.
Get out. Get your hands off me. Get your... Don't push. Don't
Shut up.
push. Don't...
Who's there? We're closed. Please go away. We're closed for the evening.
19th, 3 a.m. The police station was a circus of activity, a three-ring madhouse of reaction to the sixth kill. Even Captain Schubert seemed to know they'd had it now. That saving a miracle, their prey had gone to earth again and wasn't going to show his corpse-like face for another 21 years. A certain reporter being bailed out knew it, too. Knew it and was fit to be tied by it.
Hey, Schubert, okay?
Kolchak.
Okay, Schubert? I told him, the idiot.
Kolchak.
I told him, but would he listen? No, he didn't listen, no. I've been a policeman for 37 years and an idiot for twice that long.
Kolchak, you were supposed to be in Puyallup with the Daffodils.
Where?
Kolchak, I'd like to leave you here forever. I'd like to see they lock you up in a jail cell for 1,000,000 years. And if you don't shut your mouth,
Vincenzo, what's the matter with you? You ought to see a doctor, you know. I'm serious. You sound terrible. It's awful.
What have you done to that poor man? I have never seen anyone so close to total stark insanity before.
Believe what just disappeared. We had him cornered in the alleys behind the Richards Clinic, and he disappears. Just
Vincenzo was so upset it took me an hour to get rid of him, and then only because I promised to go straight home to bed. Maybe no one else knew what was going on, but I was sure that I did. Our man had to have a way in and out of some secret part of the underground, and the basement of his old clinic had to be it.
hear the shadows.
You're not going to go down there.
You stay here.
What is it?
Looks like a big air shaft down here.
Where does it go?
All over. I'm gonna check it out.
Carl, are you all right?
Yeah, sure, of course. Listen, you stay here. I'll be right back. Just when I thought I'd finally struck out, I found it. It's in there. Give me 30 minutes and call the police and tell them where I am.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get my exclusive. What do you think?
I think you're crazy. That's what I think.
You just do what I tell you. I gotta get going. Here it was, the hidden city beneath Seattle's underground. I was descending to the world of yesterday, the world of the 19th century, of bustle pads and high crown hats and Queen Victoria. The private world of Dr. Richard Malcolm.
you're...
Who are you?
Carl Kolchak, a Daily Chronicle.
How did you get here?
Through the cellar of your clinic.
Clinic? I have no clinic. Why do you say that?
But you are. You are Dr. Richard Malcolm.
I've seen you somewhere before.
Oh, well, you almost killed me the other day in the alley.
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? Well, I thought I'd drop in and find out about you, you know, so I could tell my readers.
Your what?
My readers?
His readers. Did you hear that? Nobody is ever going to hear from you again.
Well, I think I'll go now.
You profane my world, sir. I will not permit you to live here, to stay here, to exist here.
I'm just a dumb reporter doing his job.
You grovel nicely, Mr.
Kolchak, sir. Daily Chronicle. Sir.
So you want a story, do you? He wants a story, darling. What do you think? Oh, we'll see it this time. Yes, we have time. Why not? Why not? It seems only fitting that one other person in the world ought to know the facts. Before he dies. Yes, Mr. Kolchak.
I'll not bore you with the details of how I evolved my formula. Suffice it to say that the additive which ultimately made it work for me was the blood of women, removed from their brains in the 7 seconds following their death. I found that 6 were required to supply the quantity of blood that was needed for the 18-day period in which the elixir was prepared and consumed.
In 1868, I first took the elixir. Then, believing that my immortality was assured, I decided to perfect and refine the formula in the hopes of bestowing its benefits on mankind. No longer circumscribed by time and death, what wonders on this earth could men not then achieve?
Yes.
And then, in 1889, my world collapsed.
Yes, 1889. Your family died and you began to age.
Are you going to listen? Are you going to listen? Or are you going to interrupt?
No, no, no. Listen.
Yes. I discovered that the effects of the elixir were not permanent. I began to age. I had to kill again. To restore myself.
That's why you look the way you do now, isn't it?
Yes.
Stage by stage, in 18 days. That's the way the elixir works.
Yes. And then I shall have 21 more years to make its effects permanent.
21 more years? That's all you're ever going to have, isn't it?
That's not true. I'll find the answer eventually.
Eventually? How many more women are going to have to die?
What's a few lives compared to immortality, Mr. Kolchak? This is the 6th and final dosage. I shall take it shortly, and the revitalization shall be complete. If I don't take this final dosage now, the process will reverse itself. But I will take it.
Hey, buddy boy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Vincenzo! What kind of a dirty, rotten, stinking deal is this?
All right, now hold it now, Carl. Hold it.
Don't call me! I've heard of yellow-livered sellouts before, but this I don't believe.
Now, wait a minute,
What is this
Kolchak.
identity unknown garbage? Where is my story?
You want your story?
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you your story. All 20 copies.
What do you mean 20 copies?
That's all that came off the press before Crossbinder stopped them. What are you looking so surprised about? I'm the dummy. I actually thought they'd print all that.
Well, why didn't you print it? I mean, you're the managing editor. Why didn't you print
Oh,
it?
what's wrong with you? You actually think there's any difference between this town and Vegas?
But they saw it, Tony. They all saw it. I mean, even Schubert saw it.
Carl, no one in Seattle's going to admit that a dead man's roaming around that city killing people since 1889, but I was stupid enough to think that they would.
So this is it, huh? And I'm out of a job. Is that right, Vincenzo?
And that I feel bad about, Carl.
Yeah, why should you feel bad, Tony? I mean, you're still working.
Oh, I don't deserve that, Carl.
If you had any guts left, any at all, you'd go upstairs and...
All right, Carl, I've had enough.
So have I. Don't ever do me any more favors.
Do you any favors? Why, you miserable, ungrateful...
Ungrateful? What do you want me to do? Thank you?
No! Just get out of here. Get out! And next time you do me a favor, here, you see me again, just keep walking.
With pleasure. And thanks, Vincenzo. Thanks for nothing.
find it? Right. I'll be right up.
So there it is, another tale of defeat snatched from the jaws of triumph. Another case of virtue unrewarded, of dishonesty being the best policy, injustice
Will
rampant.
you shut up and put that stupid recorder away? Let me get some sleep. Get that story published.
God, don't tell me when I'm going to get published. Nobody's going to kill this story.
It's already been killed, Kolchak. Bury it.
Not this one, no, sir. I'd like to see somebody shut me up on this one.
Can anybody shut you up?
Mr. Vincenzo, you are a passenger in this car. This is my automobile. You remember what you said? I never want to see you again. I never want to talk to you again, remember?
Yeah, I remember. That was before I was 5.
Yeah, that's right. Well, don't worry about it, Tony. You're going to love it in New York.
New York?
New York. Yeah, that's where we're going. And you're lucky to be going with me.
I suppose I should consider myself lucky, too.
That's right.
Oh, Kolchak, do you know that I have heard just about all I want to take from you or even hear ever again? You think you've got problems? There I was, one semester shy of getting my degree in psychology, and what happens? You show up outside my houseboat one day, mouth, all mouth, Kolchak. Compared to you, I am tongue-tied. And before I know what's going on, there I am being yelled at by that captain of police.
Yada, yada, yada.
Peace! Can I have some peace, please? Some peace!
Look, it's Captain Hook and Mr. Smee. They're looking for the treasure, I'll bet. They'll never find it that way. This'll help us find it before they do. Yeah!
It's Captain Hook's treasure hunt at Disneyland, where every child wins a prize.
That floats? We found it.
If you follow the clues, you'll win a prize. You won. Like this Kodak Disc 3100 camera, a Mickey Mouse watch at Disney Wuzzle, or one of these other great prizes. Maybe even a trip to Walt Disney World.
We already found our treasure, Captain Hook.
It's Captain Hook's treasure hunt, only at Disneyland.
Now, that description fits the site you intend to build on, Mr. Drummond. I'm sure it's our ancient burial ground.
You are? Well, that's wonderful.
Well, then you'll understand if we'll have to ask you to stop construction.
The judge denied the Indians their injunction.
Well, that's a relief.
As of right now, Arnold and I are going on a hunger strike, too.
What you talking about, Willie?
Wednesday at 6. Now's the time for an incredible deal on a new automobile at Heller Ford's Red Tag Clearance Sale. Each car is clearly marked. No surprises, no need to haggle. With huge discounts up to $3,000. And with Heller Ford's fantastic trade-in allowances, instant credit check, and on-the-spot delivery, you can take home this Ford Escort today for just $49.85. Or take a new Ranger home for as low as $57.85. See us today and save big money at Heller Ford's Red Tag Clearance Sale in the Escondido Auto Park.
So, I hope you dug Night Strangler.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next week. There's a couple other. I'm digging the way I got this with the last thing being a made-for-TV sci-fi movie. If you guys like that, if you don't, maybe you tell me. You know, because I'm gonna keep going. We'll figure it out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. So I had fun this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this lineup. Like I said, Captain Power's gone. It's all gone. I gotta find a new show to replace that. Or I'll bring back an old show and replace it for a while. So here we go, guys. We're going to go to my vinyl review. This is the soundtrack for Starry Eyes, the horror movie. It is a pretty good horror movie. It is a really good soundtrack. I picked this up a while back. It is very synthy, dark, very much reminds me of an 80s horror movie. Love the album cover. Here we go. Boom. It is a sweet. Look at that. Boom. Black and red spatter. Yep. And it is awesome. It is a great album. This was from Waxworks Records. Believe it. Last time I checked, I believe it was still in stock. Which, if it isn't, it will suck because I mean it's on Amazon and it means it's like 4 times what it cost. So it sucks. Because I think I bought that at like $19.99. Got some Return of the Living Dead over there. But it is a great album. It's a fun listen. Definitely a mood music type feel. So, hope you enjoyed that album. So, here we go. We're going to give you the breakdown. All right. Group Therapy TV podcast every Monday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. With a really cool, maybe, hopefully, reoccurring guest host. I had a blast. I'll let you guys learn that one on your own. Every Friday night you're watching it right now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, SciFridays. Every Saturday morning, for all you guys who love it, the SMS Platoon. Saturday morning serials. Every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm finding out that I can now air stuff that I couldn't air when that show began. And I'm going back and airing it. So keep an eye out for cool stuff. So I'm going to bid you all adieu, a farewell, a Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. And I will see you all in a few hours, hopefully, for some Saturday morning serials. So you guys all take care. I'll see y'all there. And the Captain out. Bye.